Some Democrats have called on Platner to step aside. Others, a majority, have continued to support him. And when Democratic leaders are asked about the controversy, something happens that I've seen enough times in covering politics to recognize immediately. First, Democratic leaders acknowledge the allegations, but then they pivot. Check out Congresswoman Veronica Escobar from my hometown of El Paso, Texas. She was asked on CNN whether the allegations concerned her.
Of course it concerns me, but I will also say what concerns me even at an even greater level is Susan Collins getting reelected. She has given cover and comfort to the most corrupt, incompetent president we've ever had, and hopefully the people of Maine will take away the seat from her.
Did you catch that? The question was about Graham Platner. The answer became Susan Collins. The question was about character. The answer was about consequences. The question was about conduct. The answer was about winning. In ethics terms, the ends justify the means. Now, that was the first political move. Concern acknowledged, stakes elevated, standards shifted. Then here comes political advisor and analyst James Carville.
If you committed a crime, didn't charge him, and then throw his ass in jail, but so far we have none of that. We got a guy who he could be 100 times more up than he is. He'd never be as up as what we got in Washington now anyway.
Notice what just happened. We've moved the bar. The question is no longer whether this is the kind of person who should represent a political movement. The question is now whether a crime occurred, and absent an indictment, the conduct becomes acceptable, or at least tolerable. And that's very Clintonian, and Carville should know that because that's how Bill Clinton survived the Monica Lewinsky scandal back in the 90s. So that was the second political move, right? The standard is in integrity. Now the standard is prosecution. Then here comes a third argument. Trauma, PTSD, military service. Congressman Ro Khanna from California and a potential presidential candidate acknowledged that some of Platner's behavior was misogynistic, shameful, and wrong, while also arguing that Platner had gone through a dark chapter after serving in war and he deserved grace. And maybe there is truth to that. Maybe there is room for grace in politics. I genuinely believe there is. But I want to say something carefully here because I think it matters. Grace and accountability are not the same thing. Compassion and fitness for office are not the same thing. You can believe that a person deserves grace and still conclude they are not the right person to serve.